Hello, folks. This is Ashley with Double A Farms. Let me start off by saying this is my unbiased opinion of the Can-Am Defender versus the Polaris XP Ranger. I myself am a Yamaha fan. I have had all Yamaha four-wheelers and UTVs all of my life. So this is the first time I have experienced driving a Can-Am utility vehicle and a Polaris utility vehicle. No, I did not video me driving the Polaris one. I just didn't have the ability to do this. Plus, the Can-Am one, my wife was actually filming this, and whenever I was doing the Polaris ride, she was actually in another vehicle herself, riding with someone else. So that's why I don't have any video of the Polaris, but I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the both vehicles as I seen them. And this is the Can-Am track. Both tracks were fairly similar. The biggest thing with the Polaris, and if you go back to my first video of the Ag Expo, you can see the Polaris had a huge hill that you went over, and that was about the only really different thing. Both of them had rocks or obstacles and humps and bumps and all that kind of stuff. In my opinion, the Can-Am was a much better ride. It performed a lot better and did a lot better than the Polaris did. The Polaris, putting it in gear, forward or reverse, was difficult. The gear shifter was sort of difficult to maneuver and work, whereas the Can-Am was very easy to work. The ride on the Polaris side-by-side vehicle was rough, whereas this Can-Am was very easy. I mean, you could tell the suspension was very nice on the Can-Am side-by-side or Can-Am Defender. So, and you can see some of the terrain that we are going over. Like I said, the Polaris track had some of the same terrain. They didn't have a rocky section like you're seeing right here, but they had some stuff that you could go over. And if I would feel that if you went over this rocky section in a Polaris, it would really just rattle you. Whereas with the Can-Am, it was fairly smooth if you took it easy. Now, you're certainly not going to fly over that, but it was pretty easy. So, in my honest opinion, the Can-Am wins that when it comes to being, if you put them in a side-by-side test, the Can-Am, I think, would be the winner in my opinion. I drove both, the Ranger and the Can-Am. Went over terrain with them, and like I said, I just feel like Can-Am was the better riding vehicle, better handle, better response with the throttle, and every aspect of it. It was a lot better in my opinion. And again, it's unbiased because I, again, have always had Yamahas, and so therefore I only know Yamahas. I've never ridden a Can-Am. You see here I'm riding one of the Outlanders. It was very responsive. I didn't get to ride one of the Polaris four-wheelers, but this Outlander was very responsive on the throttle, everything about it, just like the Defender was very responsive as well. So, again, that's my opinion. If I had to go buy a new one, I would probably go definitely with the Can-Am over the Polaris if that was the two I had to choose from. Maybe a different model would be different, but I don't really know. So, in my little test run here, again, the Can-Am wins out when it comes to comparison between the Defender and the Ranger itself. The Defender had nice features. It had heating in the air. It had power windows and all that kind of stuff. Very nice vehicle. So, whereas the Ranger model I tried did not. So, But anyway, that's just my thoughts from riding these vehicles at the Sunbelt Ag Expo, being able to try them out. And I think that's good for these companies to do that, because it does give you that ability to try those things out before you possibly buy them.